Hi, it's Alaska Granny. One of the benefits about spending time in the lower 48 is the wide variety of stores that you can go and find prepping supplies, foods for your prepper pantry, and other types of items that are pretty inexpensive. I'm trying to pace myself, not spend all my money in one store so that I have the opportunity to go to another one. During this pandemic, I really didn't go anywhere. I never went to the store. Maybe I ordered it online, or I had someone pick things up for me, and I really didn't go very often anywhere simply because we were told to stay home, and after a while we don't know when can we go out again, and so I really haven't gone out until now. So I just made another trip to the 99-cent store. It's like a Dollar Tree, except everything isn't $1. Everything is clearly marked. If it's more than 99 cents, it'll say $1.99, $2.99, and it will clearly have the price on it. And if it doesn't have a price on it, you can pretty much be sure that it is the 99 cents. It's actually 99.999 cents, so it actually is $1 each. I tried to give myself a limit of $15, and so one of the strategies then is to go all around the store, look everything over and see what you really want before you start choosing, because you can easily go up to $100 if you're not careful. Before you go shopping to add to your prepper pantry, try to make a list of the foods that you're looking for. What would you like to add to your prepper pantry, and what is the budget that you're trying to stick to? And then be open-minded. You may not be able to find the foods that you had on your original list, but you may find some new and unusual foods that you want to try out. I've been trying to look for new additions, foods I haven't tried before or haven't seen in a long time, that I want to add variety and spice up my life a little bit and have an assortment of foods in my prepper pantry. Once you get a good basic supply, it's fun to try to stretch it out, look around and see what other things you can find, how you can mix it up a little bit. Most of the shelves were pretty full. Right off the bat, I saw the small packages of matches. You never see the big ones anymore, and if you need matches, go ahead and get some. It's nice to have the little packs. You can put them in your bug out bag, your get home bag, put some with your camping gear, put them in the kitchen, and so it can be nice to have them in a variety of places if you pick up the little packs. They also had a small cutting board with a little knife. This would be a great item to add to your outdoor cooking and even your camping gear. I was surprised to see some cast iron cookware. They had a cast iron griddle for $12.99. They also had a 10-inch skillet. I believe it was about $9.99. They're heavy duty. They might be what you're looking for. If you're still looking for basics to cook with your food storage, check out the sifters for $1.99. Bugs are a reality in flour, and that's one of the reasons people used to have sifters, so they could sift it out and it would help remove the bugs and add a little bit of air to fluff it up. So if you don't have a sifter, for $1.99, that is a great deal. It's something you can add to your prepper pantry prepping supplies to help cook some of your basic foods in your long-term food storage. The 99-cent store also had some basic sets of forks and knives. No spoons though. These are actually stainless steel. I usually will pick up orphan silverware at a thrift store and I add them into the meal buckets that I make myself. Then you have sturdy silverware or flatware that you can actually use to prepare your meals. If you have an emergency meal bucket and you have some actual stainless steel silverware with it, it's going to be a lot easier, more enjoyable way to eat your food than trying to negotiate with a plastic fork or spoon that might actually break. These are also good if you want to add them in with your camping gear. The 99-cent store had gravy, cream of mushroom soups, all types of broth, and a wide variety, and you can see everything looks well stocked. Except, look at the salad dressings. It didn't matter which variety it was. They're either already out of date or they're going out of date within a matter of days. Always make sure that you're buying the freshest food to add to your long-term food storage. You want to buy foods that can last for several years and beyond, and those are the foods that you want to add to the back of your food storage stockpile. Look at the Rosarita refried beans. They had vegetarian, spicy jalapeno, traditional, and no fat. I like the Rosarita refried beans, and I've never seen so many varieties before, so that's nice to keep in mind if there's a particular flavor or a dietary need that you're looking for. They also had some larger cans of La Sierra refried beans. I'm not familiar with that brand, so maybe you'll want to try their charro beans or refried black beans or whole pinto beans. They had Denison's chili and Southgate vegetarian chili. Southgate also had a vegetable stew with beef, but if you can see, it says textured vegetable protein. So be sure that you're reading the label. If you want beef stew, make sure it says beef stew and not vegetable stew with beef. Look at all the vegetables. They had a wide variety and they're all at the 99 cents price. I like to buy the mixed vegetables or the vegetable medley, but I never seem to find those anywhere except in the regular grocery store or maybe at Walmart. But I've never seen the mixed vegetable medleys at, say, the Dollar Tree, the 99 cent store. That just doesn't seem to be an item that they keep in their stock. I saw some new kinds of boxed rice mixes that I'm not familiar with. They had gumbo, dirty rice, yellow rice, and chicken rice. I usually buy rice-a-roni or the Nor rices, so if you've tried these, let us know if they're any good and if it's something that we should try to add to our prepper pantry, and if you have any meal ideas of how you use these mixes. It's a great idea to stock up on basic baking supplies like baking soda, cornstarch, baking powder, and canned meats if you're looking for light tuna in a pouch, corned beef in a can, but that's $2.99. They had chicken, which I haven't seen in some of the other stores. They also still have cans of the Swift roast beef and pork luncheon meat, which is like Spam, for $1.99. Look at the little cans of Del Monte traditional spaghetti sauce. They're the same size now of a diced tomato or tomato sauce, which is like a 16-ounce can. That's not the big 24-ounce, 28-ounce, used to be 32. It's definitely shrinkflation when a can of spaghetti sauce is the same size as a can of tomatoes. They did have some varieties of pasta for 99 cents and some little bags that were 2 for 99 cents that had little tiny alphabets and little tiny noodles. Hunt's still had the large size sauces for 99 cents. And I was glad to see they had a lot of the dried beans and rice. They had yellow peas, lentils, garbanzo beans. They also had larger packages for $2.99, but those were basically 2-pound bags, so you need to shop carefully and make sure that you know what you're getting. They had rice for 99 cents, and the black beans are $1.99, but it's a 2-pound bag. So as long as you can find your beans for about $1 a pound, that's still a good price. Another way that the 99 cent store differs from the Dollar Tree is they have fresh produce, which I think are very good prices, especially compared to what things would cost in Alaska. They're very good prices, very fresh produce, and a lot of different varieties. $1.99 for pineapples, which I think is practically magical because fresh pineapple is so delicious. I did make a video a few years ago on how to tell if a pineapple is fresh and if it's ready to pick and eat. I'll put a link to that video if you want to know how to choose a fresh pineapple and know when it's ripe. The 99 cent store had some bags of rolled oats. If you like oatmeal, check it out. They also had quick oats and some bags of cereal. The 99 cent store has the Gosner shelf-stable milk. It's interesting, this store only had the 2%, and I shopped in another store recently and they only had the whole milk. So you might want to keep your eye out. These will last for a long, long time in your pantry, and I've even stored them unopened in the refrigerator and they were still good 1 year past the date. So don't be afraid to try the UHT or ultra high temperature shelf stable milk. It's real milk, and so it can be used just as you would regular milk, and it tastes fine. I saw another new product, a quick berry crisp and quick peach crisp mix, but you have to add your own berries and butter. So basically it's just the flour, sugar, and oatmeal topping. And so to me, that's not the part I need to have in my prepper pantry, because you can easily mix those things together. Having the fruit, the berries, and the butter, That's what's the challenge in making any kind of a berry or fruit crisp, is having the fruit, the berries, and the butter, not the topping. Gatorade was in full supply. They even had varieties on 2 different aisles, which was something that people had been saying they couldn't find all summer long. And one thing I had read earlier in the summer was that the Gatorade was all being sent to the west to the firefighters that were fighting the huge fires in the western states. So maybe now that fall, even going into winter time is here, the fires have died down, the firefighters have returned to their homes, and now Gatorade seems to be available again. The 99-cent store has bottles of water, but look carefully. The ones with the red labels are distilled water. That's not drinking water. That's what you would use in, say, your iron or your clothes steamer. You want to look for the blue labels, which is the drinking water. 99-cent store had some disposable forks, knives, and spoons, lots of paper plates. I've been searching for paper bowls and I have not been able to find them. But if you don't have some supply of disposables, get some now while they're still readily available, because in a power outage, if there's no more water, you want to even just go camping, you want to have some things that are disposable, not for everyday use, but if an emergency happens and you don't have a way to wash your dishes, then you want to have something that you can still eat your food, serve your food, and then still be able to clean up to keep things hygienic. Look at this little roll of 40 tie top trash bags. Now, I originally thought that these were like the tall kitchen bags, the 11-gallon, which are perfect in the porta potty, but these are a little bit smaller, so they'd be perfect for garbage. There's 40 bags and they can tie up at the top, and they're only 99 cents. If you can't get a supply of shopping bags that I like to use for trash and to pick up after the dog's poopy, these might be just the thing to have with your plastic bag supply. Other stores I've been to were extremely low on toothpaste and toothbrushes. This 99-cent store had a nice variety and a big supply, so if you still need some extras, keep your eye out and stock up on the hygiene supplies that you will always need. Wet wipes are great to have in your emergency supplies and your everyday supplies. Some messes just require a wet wipe. You can put them in your bug-out bag, keep them in your car. They're wonderful if you're going camping. You don't have to have babies with messes to want to use wet wipes to clean up. These would be great if your power went out, your hot water heater broke, or you end up with no water at all. Having a way to clean yourself can really help keep you not only healthy but happy. Remember at the beginning of the pandemic when hand sanitizer disappeared, you couldn't buy it for any price, and then as the year went on, a year and a half, suddenly you could buy cartons of them for 10 cents each. Now look at this, 12 ounces for $3.99. They're calling that an amazing value. I don't call it that. So if you still want to add to your hand sanitizer supply, you maybe want to be on the lookout to see if you can still find some that's far less expensive than this. I've also made a video on how you can make your own. I'll put a link to that video in case making your own hand sanitizer is something you're interested in doing. Dollar Tree had some canning jars, not just plain ones. They also had these cute ones with a decal on the front tied with a bow. Now these aren't going to be for actual canning, but say you wanted to put away some beans and rice, or even mix up some dry soup mixes. Make a hot cocoa mix. There's all kinds of mixes that we like to put together. You could fill these up, put them in your pantry, or give them away to your family and friends as gifts during this holiday season. That's one of the ways we can help others be prepared. We can gift them mixes of dried foods and attach the directions on how to use it, and get them building their stockpile and having a few sensible things that gives us the opportunity to not only help others, but to share gifts that don't have to be expensive and yet they're still useful. Every prepper needs some basic sewing supplies, so if you don't have some, check it out and see what you might want to add to your supply. You can still find the tall pillar candles. These used to be $1, now they're $1.29. I think they still have them at Dollar Tree for $1, but if you don't have some, these are some you need to get. They actually are supposed to burn for 80 hours. You could consider these 80-hour candles. And we used to be able to find long fireplace matches that you could light them even when it got cleared down, which I haven't seen those in a long time. I also like the long utility lighters that you can reach down in and click them on. But if you can't find the long matches or the long utility lighters, you could even light a piece of spaghetti noodle and reach it down in and light these candles when they've burned down quite a bit. Now remember, in a power outage, you aren't going to burn these 24 hours a day, so if you have an 80-hour candle, it's going to last for days and days. You're only going to burn it a few hours in the evening time. And so go ahead and get a few. The light of one candle is not very bright, but if you can put a few together, even set them in front of a mirror so it reflects the light, then it'll help you light up the night in an emergency situation. So there was a lot to choose from at the 99-cent store. What did I buy? First of all, I started with some canned food. I found Campbell's country sausage gravy mix. This would be good over rice, mashed potatoes, biscuits, toast. There's lots of different ways that you could have this for a meal. There's a lot of different ways you can use canned foods to make a meal. I picked up a can of the Southgate all beef chili. It's nice to have a variety of chilies. Don't just get like 100 cans of Hormel like my son did. Get some different varieties because each one's going to have a little different flavor. I bought a can of the Rosarita traditional refried beans because these are great just to make a simple bean burrito. You can get the tortillas even at the 99-cent store or the Dollar Tree. You can open a can, sprinkle on some cheese, add a little salsa, heat it up and roll it up, and you have some easy bean burritos. I'm always on the lookout for canned soups with meat in them besides just chicken noodle, and I found a beef with barley soup. A can of soup like this is easy to serve over mashed potatoes, over some noodles. You can add it over rice, serve it with biscuits. You can even mix in a few other cans and make a bigger stew type soup with some of the other foods that you have in your prepper pantry. I found a jar of jalapeno peppers. I've been looking for these for a long time. These are great to add to some of your recipes to really jazz it up. Foods in jars can last a long, long time, but just like canned foods, store them in a cool, dark, dry place. You especially want to keep them in the dark because the light can affect the food and lower the quality of it. And if you live in earthquake country, make sure that you have secured these so that when the house starts shaking, these aren't the first thing to fall off the front of the shelf and break. I found some Oregon Trail whole cranberry sauce. I found sweet potatoes, which says cut yams in syrup. And I know there's a difference between sweet potatoes and yams, but it's no wonder we're confused because even on the label it tells us the sweet potatoes are yams. I bought a can of pumpkin puree. And at the last minute, I grabbed this one instead of another one because this one said organic. But then after I checked out, I realized this one was $1.99 instead of $99, which was the regular type of a pumpkin puree. Sometimes healthier just costs a little more. I bought a 4-pack of unsweetened applesauce because if you ever run short on eggs and you want to bake something like a cake, you can substitute a 1/4 cup of applesauce for 1 egg. And if you're worried that it might be too heavy and thick and your product won't rise sufficiently, you can add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and that can help make sure that it rises up to the consistency that you like. So keep some applesauce on hand for those kind of emergencies. I also like to make oatmeal and then I'll stir in a cup of applesauce and it makes it just extra yummy and delicious. There's a lot of reasons you might want little packs of applesauce in your prepper pantry. Just make sure that you pay attention to the date on them because these aren't going to last anywhere near as long as, say, a can or a jar of food because it's plastic and it just has a foil top, but these still can last a long time. Next, I bought some dried fruit. Dried peach crisps. I've never seen that before, so I'm excited to try those out. Dried cantaloupe crisps. I've never seen those before either, so that was pretty exciting, so I'll be interested to see what they're like. I found tropical pineapple. This one was $1. I picked up a different package of dried pineapple at Big Lots, and it was, I think, $1.79 or something. So because this one was only $1, I thought it's certainly worth checking it out. Now this is when I went overboard because I went beyond my 15 because I bought these. I bought some of these a few weeks ago. They were only $1, and they're dried apricots, and they're very delicious. They're nutritious and they're tasty. It's a kind of snack that can live in your prepper pantry. You could also add them in your bug out bag. They're a nice, yummy snack, and it's a nice way to have fruit when you can't have fresh fruit because it doesn't last, and maybe you don't want a whole can of fruit. You can open up some dried fruit and have some of that with your meal or as a snack. Same with the dried figs. I bought these a while ago, and these are absolutely delicious. They're only $1 a package. There's many of them in the package. They're sweet and delicious, and even my grandkids were excited to eat some of the dried fruit when they were here recently. And so these are family favorites at my house. It's a nice way to have some delicious fruit that was shelf stable, and it can last for several years. But once you open the package, you need to be sure that you eat it within a reasonable amount of time. Here's the unexpected item that I found at the 99-cent store, and it was 99 cents. It's a brush that you can stick down into your dryer vent and clean out the lint. You can also use it to clean the coils on the back of your refrigerator, or you could sweep it around under your refrigerator, under your washer, your dryer, and try to get all those little crumbs and dust bunnies out that we simply can't reach. It's hard to clean in those little nooks and crannies, and so this is going to be great. One of the reasons you want to make sure that you always are cleaning out the lint trap on your dryer is that is one of the biggest causes of house fires, is that the lint is flammable, which we know that because we put it into our fire starting kit, but somehow we don't think about it as being dangerous if we don't clean it out of our dryer, which is heating it up. So let me show you. You can just stick this down, roll it around, and it'll pull any of the extra lint that's into the nooks and crannies inside your dryer that you can't reach otherwise. So my tip to you is if you can get one of these for 99 cents, pick it up. And then always make sure that you're cleaning the lint trap when you dry laundry in your dryer. I actually have a new dryer, so there's not much in here because I haven't used it very often, but you can see it still found some lint. And I can't even imagine what this thing would have brought up out of my old dryer. So this was what I found on my latest trip to the 99-cent store. So if there's any other favorites that you have found or ways that you enjoy using some of these products, leave it in the comments below. Give us some tips on what we can do to help all of us be better prepared for an uncertain future. Nobody knows what's coming. We can learn a lot from each other, making sure that we can make the best of every single day that we have. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might enjoy it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.